Hey, what's up everybody? Today's video we're going to be talking about the new addition to the flight roster as well as their new organization, as well as recapping BTS Summer Shuffle open qualifiers. And if you guys would like to support in any additional ways, you can find all the social media links that are shown here down in the description below, whether it be my Twitch stream, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. And if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, as well as hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the best Rocket League news content coming at you day to day. Now entering their 50th iteration of the flight roster, they have officially decided to go with Rapid, Seabass, and Beastmode. If you guys don't know Beastmode, he got his initial start and was probably more notable for his run through the DreamHack Montreal Pro Circuit for the North American region, while during qualifiers he played on a team called Speeders with Two Piece and Peke. They ended up making it through the open qualifiers into the closed qualifier, where they ended up going up against Ghost Gaming immediately and getting dropped to the lower bracket, where they ended up getting actually a couple wins until they ran into Birds and the Bees, which you guys may now know as United. Since then, he's played in various other community tournaments, but probably the most noticeable performance as of late was in the North American Fusion event. He played alongside Vision along with Rodoko and Kinze, and they ended up actually finishing in 6th, just above Stromboli. For those that haven't been able to see him play, obviously pretty solid in 6-mans, but the big reason he's getting picked up is the potential that he has for his mechanics. And quite honestly, I don't know who else is really available. Interesting about this one, though, is that he is still 14 and does not turn 15 until August 3rd. If you guys have been watching the BTS Summer Shuffle, which I'll be talking about actually up next, he is actually not able to play in it. He has to be at least 15, and currently he is not. So a lot of people wonder why he is the starter on the roster when he's not able to play in the first place. What Flight's new organization, the Kansas City Pioneers, is doing is they're signing him to the roster now, so when he is eligible on the 3rd, he is then able to compete moving forward. As of right now, they are going to be playing with their sub Noxes, as we saw in Summer Shuffle today, but after that point, you can expect to see him once he is eligible to play to be the starting player. Again, Aeon gets thrown to the side, and this roster has gone through a bunch of different iterations, but hopefully this one sticks and they can have some performances with it. As of late, I haven't really seen anything too convincing out of Flight, so maybe this will be enough to bring this team to the next level, but honestly, I look at this roster and the way they perform, and it just feels like they still are stuck in an RLRS mentality, and it is part of the reason why they can't transition into play with the big leagues. If anything, this roster to me is a team that isn't really trying to be the team that wins the entire thing, but it'll increase the value of all the individual players, and then hopefully in time they get picked up or kind of plucked out of this roster and hopefully get a chance into the RLCS, as we've seen both Rapid and Seabass do in the past. The one benefit, though, for Beast Mode is he is surrounded by 2 players that have been in the RLCS previously, so hopefully that experience will help him, as he's going to kind of be thrown into the deep end at the very beginning with this new system of how RLCS X is going to be going. Either way, best of luck. Kansas City Pioneers has already thrown shade at the subreddit, so clearly they're going to fit in just fine. Getting into BTS Summer Shuffle, we are looking at the qualification stage for both Day 1 and Day 2. All these matches were officially played out, with the last half of the lower bracket and the upper bracket being finished up yesterday, where we ended up seeing Plot Twist and Omelette end up qualifying into the main event. Seems to be some similar results, and the big one I want to focus on is actually Alpine Esports. For those that don't know, this is previously known as Affinity, and is a team that for the last 3 events have not had notable wins. They've failed to qualify in Covert, the Brawl 10K, where they were actually up 2-0 in the series, up 2-0 in Game 3, and then ended up throwing it and getting reverse swept. And now here they end up dropping down to the lower bracket and beating Charlotte Phoenix, who is now currently playing with Dapper. This was a team that promoted into the RLCS last season, and despite that kind of performance and the talent that they have on this roster, they just haven't been able to get wins, and I'm really hoping that from the rumors that I hear with the new coach coming in, that should fix a lot of these problems, but man, do they desperately need help. They have the talent, they know how to pass, they work the field a lot. For some reason, there's something going on, whether it be communication-wise or otherwise, to where they are falling apart. Another team in the rival series that many thought were going to qualify for the RLCS is Stromboli, and they've had some up and down performances, but one thing is true, is that Sonics needs some help. I wasn't really too convinced with the fact that they were trying with Illusion now that Dapper is playing for Charlotte Phoenix, and they didn't win a single match. Losing to Stromboli 3-0 and then losing to Valence 3-0 is not a good sign for Sonics, who have been in a really bad spot for probably the past 3 months. Something needs to change for Sonics, and I don't know what it is, but either way, they definitely need some help. Now, I do take the Kansas City Pioneers results a little bit with a grain of salt, because like I said, they're playing with Noxes rather than Beastmode, which is supposed to be their starter, so May not have too much experience playing with their sub, but either way, knocked out by some pretty lackluster performances. Moving over to the more positive news, the two big ones to talk about are going to be probably Plot Twist and Omelet, as those are the two teams that have qualified, which are kind of a little bit off the screen, but you should be able to see from the results in the finals. As for Plot Twist, for those that don't know, longtime duo in both Mektos and Taroko. Ended up, now that Corrupted G has gone over to Rogue as a coach, picked up Sosa, who's been having a stellar impact, and I've actually been really happy with their performances. Just all around, Plot Twist has looked pretty stellar and could be a team that, now that they're no longer represented by Chaos, could find themselves picked up here. I think they're one of those teams that they're teetering right between RLCS and RLRS and have been for quite a while. So as long as they keep this performance up, I think Sosa has been a fantastic addition, and they're trending in the right direction. So shouts to Plot Twist. They're going to be playing, obviously, in the close qualifiers moving forward. The other semifinal was actually what I was more looking forward to between Omelet and Stromboli. These guys have both been using kind of a different combination of rosters, primarily Stromboli. With the latest edition of Alpha Cap, I've been really happy. I think my ideal roster was between Alpha Cap, Heck, and JPOW, but Alraz had a really good performance today. I think him and Alpha Cap together have been figuring something out, but it looked really good. So coming into that game, I was pretty happy about Stromboli, but Omelet came up to play. Their new addition has been Line Blaze, playing alongside Luke and Freshness or Joe Freshness. If you guys don't know this roster, they used to be known as Mirage. So another team, again, a lot of these rosters changing. I think a lot of these guys are taking these opportunities to make sure that they're kind of in form or they're with the solidified 3 that they want before they move into RLCSX, which makes perfect sense. After both Omelet and Stromboli dropped down, we got to see some rematches. Obviously, Rad Enterprises trying out Wonder Mike. Ended up losing to Stromboli. Some to be desired, but a lot of really fun moments in that one as well. That team, I don't think, has been together for all that long, so I still have some, I guess, confidence in Rad Enterprises. Charlotte Phoenix with Dapper, I was not impressed whatsoever. Just felt really flat and could never get out of their own half, especially when they're playing Stromboli. That whole entire game was just Stromboli on offense, just doing whatever they wanted. And then we got the rematch, which is actually what I really wanted to see between Omelet and Stromboli, because we already got them once. And overall, I mean, you're talking, it was what, 6-3. So Omelet just kind of had the number, but a really close match. Could have went the either way. Went to game 5. And that's exactly what you want in qualifying matches, is just making sure that they come down to the wire. And either way, it goes back and forth. Again, if you guys don't know how to watch these, if you go into Liquipedia, which I'll drop the link down below, you can click the little eye icon and it'll pull up a link on any of these numbers. So if you want to go to a certain match, you just click on one of these buttons, and then it'll bring you to the Twitch VOD of where it's at. So with Plot Twist and Omelet qualifying, it then gives us the seeding as we show and look at the group stage for tomorrow. Energy going to be going up against Omelet. Obviously, Omelet taking on the #1 team based upon Energy's recent results with 2 first places and a 2nd place in the brawl under Envy. And then it kind of goes from there, where you see some of these teams have to play against other RLCS rosters at the very beginning, but Space Station Energy have put themselves in a pretty good spot. Those 4 matches will be going down tomorrow, and then they should have their wheel and deal kind of system, where it's that card deck thing we were talking about. And then after that, we get Mafia again, which we've already been seeing jokes and memes going on with that, with CJ and Speed both being involved. All in all, the day starts at 10 a.m. Pacific daytime. Hopefully you guys tune in and watch it. Should be a good one. And in yesterday's video, we kind of teased about how Team BDS was hinting that they're going to be picking up a new French player. Well, we were right on the money today. Team BDS ended up announcing that Extra is going to be joining the roster officially and want to give him a warm welcome. If you guys don't know, Extra is an 18-year-old from France who previously played with AS Monaco in his first season of the RLCS and brought a lot of offense to a team that was struggling desperately with actually defense. The original roster was Extra, Ignite, and Tigre, and it wasn't that the team had a difficult time scoring and playing offense. It was actually on the back end of that, where a majority of the time it was that they played too much offense and their defense was just absolutely abysmal. Anytime Tigre found himself on defense, they got scored on, and that was the biggest issue. So again, I think Extra is a fantastic addition in a team that desperately needs offense. Team BDS, as many has stated and as I have stated in my previous video, could be a team that rivals Vitality. They have all the pieces in the puzzle to be a very aggressive, in-your-face type of playstyle, but every player also has the mechanics to buy time or force a challenge up from defense. So again, I don't think Team BDS is a team that you should take lightly. If I had to kind of power rank them right now, I would honestly put them probably in the top 4 behind Vitality, now Liquid, and Oxygen. Dignitas might get there as soon as like yours kind of feels comfortable and works into the mix, but quite honestly, Team BDS, a very dangerous team, could be very solid moving into RLCSX. That is going to do it for this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you guys drop those down below, and I'll do my best to get those in a response in a timely fashion. If you guys enjoy the content, as always, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you guys don't miss out on the best Rocket League news content. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.